we're live and we're about to go live on YouTube as well. I see we're live on Facebook. Just 1 second while we also go live on. Perfect. I see the audio is working. Okay. We are also live on YouTube. So hi everyone. We're going to be covering the latest news on religion, politics, atheism, secularism, anything you guys ask us to cover on the page, on the YouTube comment section, mostly the YouTube comment section, because our face is so huge. Our Facebook page is so huge that we can't even see. What did I say? I don't know what I said. Our Facebook page is so huge that we miss most of your messages and notifications and all of that. So if you want to suggest news for us to cover, please hop on over our YouTube channel, because it's less busy there. We're smaller on YouTube, and you know, every week when you use the comment section on our YouTube videos to recommend news for us to cover. Wayne, I don't know, I see Wayne has a comment. Ali, you're gonna reach out to Wayne with regards to his question, right? Yeah, okay. So I see on YouTube we have Wayne on, Heat Shield, Willfully, Beach, Channel Gaming the Best. On YouTube, on Facebook, I see Alan, hello from England, hello. JV, I don't know what you're saying, but hi. Anyways, Ellie, let's get started. Before we go into the news, we want to first thank our new patron, and also anything else you want to add?
Yeah, so let me get it pulled up.
Yeah, we don't have Jim today, so Ali is getting used to this. She's doing many things at the same time.
Many things, yes. So we do have a new Patreon. We want to really thank you, Miko, for pledging to us. And I wanted to really ask everybody who's watching this, if you enjoy it and haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah. All right, let's and that's all the fluff. Let's get to the meat of the discussion. What's the first news?
Okay, so the president of the Philippines is back at his antics again. He's saying that, oh, I should probably read the title of this. Philippines President Duterte, scandal-ridden Catholic Church to die in 25 years. The Philippines president lashed out at the Roman Catholic Church, saying that it will not survive long, giving the clerical sex abuse scandal involving predatory priests that have engulfed the institution. He said, end quote, "When they get horny, the sons of bitches go after nuns. If they're gay, they go after young boys. Who needs a religion like that?" And then he added, "The Catholic Church, in about 25 years, it'll disappear. No more. People will forget it."
Right. So, I mean, I think me and you are not a big fan of this guy. And I know saying that is going to make a lot of our Filipino fans not very happy with us. This is a very, very sensitive topic among the atheist community in the Philippines. Most Filipinos support Duterte, and every time we say we don't like this guy, a lot of our fans, a lot of our Filipino followers tell us that, mind your own business, this is our country, you're a foreigner, you don't understand our politics, the media is against him, all the human rights violations that they accuse him of is all lies. You know, so many things, okay? And I mean, but I mean, the more we look into it, the more we think this guy is actually a monster. And I mean, I'm hoping that our Filipino fans that are supportive of him can still remain a fan while we have that disagreement, you know, because I mean, I'm hoping that they're mature enough at least to not get these disagreements get in the way between us and them. Maybe they're right, maybe we're wrong, but so far for us. But at the same time, I mean, I'm gonna point to you know, Crizzy. Actually, I asked Crizzy, one of our Filipino admins, our main Filipino admin, what she thinks about Duterte, and I sent you what she said. Ali, you wanna maybe we'll read that later, but I mean, I could be against this guy for all his human rights violations, but also be happy about him being against the Catholic Church at the same time. I mean, I don't think that's the contradiction. Do you think that's a contradiction for being happy that he's so anti-Catholic Church while at the same time not liking him for his human rights violation? Is that hypocrisy, or is that okay? What do you
It's absolutely not hypocrisy. I think that it's something that we should all start doing a little bit more, actually. When we find someone that we don't like, we don't agree with for the most part, try to find some common ground. Because you can't start a debate with anyone, especially, fans of Duterte. I understand that they love him, right? You either love him or you hate him. It's a lot like Trump. So you're not really going to win anyone over with your side if you have anything good to say. If all you can say is bad things, you can find the good in people, even if they have really, really bad flaws. And he does. He has a lot of human rights flaws. So I actually thoroughly am excited to hear that he's against the Catholic Church. I think he's wrong. I don't think that it's going to be 25 years. That would be amazing.
I'm hoping he's right. 25. That's very optimistic. Right. People make fun of me when I say like religion is going to be very like, extremely less influential 100 years from now. People think like no way, like maybe 1,000 years. But he's like the Catholic Church. He's saying 25 years. Is he saying 25 years in Philippines or 25 years ever, or like the Catholic Church in general?
He said the Catholic Church in general, and for anyone who's not familiar with the Philippines, you have to understand that entire country is very Catholic. It's hard for us. We have a big group for a consulate for atheists in the Philippines, but almost everyone that I've heard in that consulate has problems with their family not understanding their atheism because they are very Catholic. It's illegal to get a divorce. Okay, I mean they hold very, very Catholic, and they hold to the stance even in their laws. Right. So for their president to start turning against it,
go on.
For the president to start turning against it, I just think that it's going to make a huge impact.
And actually, the fact that. I think he's like a cult of personality. And by the way, somebody in the Facebook live chat says, like, they said, I think it was Lucky. She's saying, I support him. Trust me, I don't mind you not supporting him. Well, I appreciate the fact that we can disagree on this. And some people are saying, how can you, like, some people are pointing out if he's a human right violator, how could you say that you are, support some of the things he said? Well, I mean, what he's saying, you should be able to support someone's anti-church stance while calling them out for their human rights violation. I think you should be able to do that. But if you guys think that's impossible, I'm willing to hear that argument. But what is surprising to me is that Philippines is one of the most Catholic countries in the world, right? Like, I lived there for a year. It's very Catholic, and it has huge influence in people's lives. So for the fact that this guy, this president is so popular, and has remained so popular while being so anti the Catholic Church, is amazing to me. That how he has managed to do that. And I do wish that I would like to interview people like that are Catholic, why are they in Philippines that support this guy? Like, how do they deal with the fact that he's so anti the Catholic Church and they're Catholic, but they still love him? Like, how does that work in their mind? But what I could tell you with regards to the atheist community in the Philippines, the issue is that a lot of people are saying, why would us as atheists not support this guy? This is if we believed in God, this guy seems like a gift from God, because we never thought we would have somebody so high up that would be anti-church. Like, that seems like a dream come true. But a lot of other atheists are saying, well, we are atheists, but we're also humanists. So we're not just atheists, we're also humanists. So no matter how much he speaks against the church, the fact that so many people are being killed without due process in the Philippines, with the excuse of anti-drug war against drugs and stuff, they say like we can't stand for that. Yes, we are against the church, but we're not for this guy. But you want to add something before we also read Chrissy's message?
So yeah, the point that he makes when he says the quote, "When they get horny, the sons of bitches, they go after nuns. If they're gay, they go after young boys." I don't fully agree with that statement either.
Yeah,
I think that it's very important, and just on a personal level, just want to clarify that gay men don't go after little boys.
right. Actually, you're right. I completely ignored the part that he's confusing being gay with pedophilia. Like, I'm not sure if he's doing that directly, but he's kind of suggesting that a little bit. I'm not sure if because a lot of that is something that is out there. A lot of people think that if you're gay, maybe they should hide little kids, and that's a really damaging narrative for the gay community. So, but did he actually kind of suggest that he's talking? Maybe people would defend him by saying, well, no, he's just specifically talking about the priests, not all other gay people.
Well, there are some gay priests that go after each other.
Right, without going after children. Okay,
yeah. If you can be straight and still go after little boys as a man, pedophilia is something completely different. It's really frustrating to me when I see anything that says, you're gay if you're a man going after little boys. It's not because they're gay. Okay, it's because they're child molesters.
One thing I'm reading in the Facebook live chat is some guy saying this is probably a Duterte fan is saying all the bullshit propaganda against Duterte are false. Instead, look at the source of the BS. What really happens we have looked at the source. The sources are very legitimate and credible. These are the same sources. These are Amnesty International and other very credible human rights organizations. The defense that people have for him is usually this. It's very similar to other dictators and other human rights violations. Every time they get caught, they blame the source rather than actually the accusation. And it's interesting because the same people that say all these is propaganda and false information, they would accept the same sources when they say something against other dictators and other human rights violations. This has been debunked. This guy does violate human rights violation. And I know you guys, a lot of our Filipino fans will not agree with this, but let's just agree. Don't agree to disagree, but let's get along with each other's disagreements. Will, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Will is saying it seems like the only reason why Duterte is against the Catholic Church is that the church is competition to his powers. I don't know. Maybe I can't read minds, so I don't know why he's anti-church. He was also molested as a child, wasn't he, by a priest? I think somebody said that, so maybe he also has some personal grudges against them. Christy is also saying, I'm not sure if that's true actually, don't quote me on that. Christy is saying, I'm a humanist first and an atheist after. My atheism only answers one question, but my humanism describes so much more of me. Well, that's a very good way of saying it. Okay, and Amnesty International is a credible source. Yes, oh my god, they are eating up their lies, that pathetic... oh my, what is this, people? Okay, but it's not just Amnesty International. There's many human rights organizations, and yes, Amnesty International, by even if they have made mistakes, they are one of the most credible sources. And I know it's your favorite president, so a lot of you probably would not accept whatever source it comes out of. You're just going to go and attack the source rather than, because you are. A lot of you have just accepted that no attack on this person could be legitimate. He's become, like, I think the Duterteism is kind of like a cult of its own now. And again, I know I'm going to lose a lot of our fans from Philippines for this, but I guess, well,
let's hope that we don't. Let's ask them to help us find common ground.
Right. I'm hoping that maybe we could have a debate between, we could moderate a debate between a Filipino from Atheist Filipino from Atheist Republic that supports Duterte and one that is against them, and let's have a panel of discussion, a debate between these two groups, and see what we could both sides could bring up the argument. Do you want to? A lot of people are going to say like, oh, you're not from Philippines, so you don't have no idea what you're talking about. Can you read what Chrissy said from which she is from Philippines, and she follows these, yeah, and.
So she says, not really a big fan of him, right? Can't control his mouth. And then he gets called out on something. He says he's just joking. His anti-drug campaign is a joke as well. They only went after the small-time drug users and pushers. They even killed innocent people for alleged drug use. But when they started questioning the biggest drug lords in the country, he let them get away. He said that these drug lords admitting in court that they are drug lords is not enough to imprison them. We think that he is actually protecting them, since even his own son was caught smuggling drugs. He also said that he will fight corrupt officials, but what did he do? He granted amnesty to politicians who are imprisoned for graft and corruption instead. He even allowed them to run again for Senate. But those who are against him or protested him those who were against him or protested against him, he tried everything he can to have them sent to jail or tied with an offense.
Yeah, actually, being a reporter, anti-Duterte reporter in Philippines is actually a very dangerous job. A lot of Filipinos that are in Philippines that try to bring awareness to these human rights violations, it's not a safe place to be a reporter. It's there are so many reporters that were actually killed because of it's really bad. If there's any media manipulation, it's actually from him, not from the people that are trying to shine a light on this. The top comment is from Matt, is saying, also Duterte, drugs kill people, so don't do drugs or I'll kill you. Yeah, and a lot of people that are drug users, which are addicts that really need help and treatment, have been killed for this as well. I mean, we keep on pointing out how important due process is, and you can't Duterte give the police the legitimacy to just shoot people on sight, like becomes judge, jury, and executioner because for anybody that they think that might be a drug smuggler, and a lot of people just got killed for just being the users. And a lot of people think in Philippines, well, that's good because we have a huge drug problem. This is what. When people use problems to take away rights and use fear of something that is growing to fear of security to take away freedoms, you're going to lose both. When people use security as an excuse to take away rights, you are going to lose both. This is such a repetitive scheme in history. I don't know how many more times does this have to happen for people to start seeing a trend that this is an excuse for more government control. Okay, they scare the shit out of you and they take away your rights. It happens over and over again. Why do people not see this as a common trend? But it's very interesting because people felt like before Duterte, corruption in the Philippines was going so up that we need the drastic measures. As you guys outside Philippines don't understand. We needed some drastic measures. It was just getting out of control, which is very interesting because you actually look at data. Corruption in Philippines was going down. It was going down. It was less than ever before. It's just that it was being reported more. You have more internet. You have more social media. You have more reporting. And it feels like it was becoming more. But it was going down. It was just fear-mongering. Anyways, I know most of your fans are not going to agree with this. What is Oliver saying? The person is a populist maniac and causes thousands of deaths. She should not been quoted by people of reason. Well, I mean, we could quote him and say why he's right or wrong. Again, I agree with a lot of people that the top comments, but I do think we could say all that while I appreciate the fact that somebody is fighting against the Catholic Church in the Philippines. But it's important while you appreciate that to point out that this guy is a monster, though. Okay, anything else that you want us to read?
No.
A lot of people in the Facebook live chat are saying that they support the president. Yeah, I know you guys do, but I'm hoping that you guys could accept the fact that we are against them, and we'll still. I'm hoping we can still get along, even if we're completely against them.
Will from our YouTube chat suggested that maybe he's against the Catholic Church because they are a threat to his power.
Yeah, I read that already, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that's when I said that maybe I think he might also have some personal problems with them. But again, another thing that actually, one last point I want to make is that the Catholic Church is now jumping on the bandwagon of like, oh, this guy is violating human rights and stuff, and we're against him because of that. But we also know why the Catholic Church is doing that. I mean, the Catholic Church is doing that because Duterte is anti-Catholic Church. So I mean, we understand people's real agenda when they say something. So is it possible to be happy about what they're doing while understanding that their goals is not really, is not coming from a good place? Like, should we, when Duterte is against the Catholic Church, we might be like, okay, fine, good, that's something I support, even though everything else you stand for is like, it seems like I can't support that, or many of the things. And then with the Catholic Church says like, oh no, Duterte is violating human rights, should we also understand that the Catholic Church has its own agenda for why it's saying that? But should we also appreciate the fact that at least they're saying something? It's confusing. Let us know what you think. All right, let's go to the next news.
Next news, I saw somebody in our YouTube chat say that they're from Indonesia. So this news is also from Indonesia.
Okay.
And
yeah, please, if you're from Indonesia, can you, if you think we're getting anything on the story wrong, or if you've been following this, please let us know. But what's the next news?
Yes,
okay.
Indonesian student faces jail for Islam insults. A 22-year-old student from the University of North Sumatra in Medan is on trial for insulting Islam in an Instagram post by mocking the burning of an Islamic flag in October last year. The Tawhid flag? The Tawhid?
Oh, Tawhid.
Tawhid, okay. A Tawhid flag presumed to belong to Hizbut Tahrir, a banned militant group, was burned by 3 Muslim youths on October 21st.
Hizbut Tahrir? Is that what they mean? Okay, interesting. Okay, I didn't know they have Hizbut Tahrir in Indonesia. Or is this something, Hizbut Tahrir? Okay, go on.
Yeah. In his post, he was said to have insulted the flag, that his script describing the monotheistic God in Islam and God himself. He wrote, "What is the matter if the flag is burnt? Your God apparently gets burnt also. So don't take a lot of this is, weird. Recitations that teach culture that makes fools. Your God is just silent over there, playing guitar, getting drunk, and writing porn poetry. Why are you so busy?"
What?
The wording is a little weird on that. I think the translation's weird. A local mosque official who made the complaint said that he was satisfied with the trial's outcome and agreed with the jail term demanded by prosecutors, which was that he serve 18 months jail time with a $750 fine for the Christian student.
Wait, so he didn't even burn the flag?
Correct. This is just his Instagram post about other students burning the flag. So
he gets jailed for not for burning the flag, but saying, what's the problem with burning the flag? Your God is not, he's making a very interesting point. He's like, your God, if you believe in your God, I'm pretty sure he's fine. I'm pretty sure the flag, burning the flag is not going to hurt your almighty God. So what's your problem? So he makes a post on Instagram and he gets 18-month jail and $700 fine. What the hell?
Yep. It's blasphemy laws in Indonesia.
So, but the flag was actually from a group that is a radical group, right?
That's correct.
And it's banned. It's a banned militant group in Indonesia. So it's not like Indonesia supports that group. It's just that their flag had some holy scripture holy script or magic words, it would be more accurate, that should not be burned. So even though it's a banned militant group, you cannot burn their flag because it has some Islamic stuff written on it. And oh my god, this is so stupid. Poor guy. It's an Instagram post. This is why we need to keep okay, this is why we insult Islam, right? This is why we sit here in safety and say fuck Islam, fuck Muhammad, fuck Allah, fuck the Quran. Wipe your ass with that shit. Go ahead and wipe your ass with that shit, just so that because these people get over it, right? We insult Islam not just to be offensive, but because we want to desensitize these fucking snowflakes. We want them to be like, okay, you put this guy in prison, but we're over here. What are you going to do about us, huh? There's nothing you could do about us. And when we post it on the internet, it's going to be in Indonesia as well. It's going to be all over the place. Your God is so weak that he cannot come and control us if we're outside of the borders of Islamic countries, right? I mean, this is so pathetic. I don't even want to repeat how pathetic this is, because we've gone over this so many times, saying, oh, your God is so weak that it needs man-made laws to protect him, and he apparently created all the universe and all these galaxies and everything, but he gets so worked up over somebody burning a piece of paper that has his name on it. Like, none of this makes any sense, and we've said this many times, but the fact is that we could just dismiss this as ridiculous, but this is the case in at least 13 countries in the world, right? Or more, actually. Every fucking Islamic country out there, this is what the fuck that you have to deal with. We have to normalize this. So, you know, insult Islam for the sake of humanity. Like, go ahead, like make it a habit. Go make it a habit of being comfortable with saying fuck Islam, fuck Muhammad, fuck the Quran. This is why I actually burned the Quran and recorded a video. People are like, oh, Armin, you went too far. No, I didn't go too far. The people that are doing this went too far. I'm trying to desensitize people. I've tried to normalize this. It's just fucking paper. It doesn't matter. It's not, you know, you have to get over it. You know, when we did I think we have made a lot of progress with Dry Muhammad Day. They're less sensitive about that now. So we have to now do this with sacred text. Anyways, Wolf is saying, oh, no, not a flag. Meanwhile, they are beheading people left, right, and center. No big deal, though. Let me see what the top comment here is on Facebook. This is so stupid. I can't believe this is still happening in the 21st century. Like, how much longer does it take for us to grow up?
What's really frustrating too is whenever we do make comments like this, like on our page, or one of our bloggers writes a blog about this, we always get the same comments of, why do you have to be so offensive to people? Why are you so hateful? What is wrong with the Atheist Republic with doing this? And we're sitting here and we hear about guys like this who go to jail for saying this shit. Right. And when we say we're trying to normalize criticism of a religion, we're labeled as hateful. It's not that we're hateful people. We don't hate Muslims, right? We don't hate people. We hate that an ideological reference is so important to people that they're willing to ruin others' lives for it.
Right. Actually, the top comment on the Facebook post is ridiculous as well. As Donald is saying, kind of like the left wants to do here in the States. No, Donald. First of all, I think Ali and I are, as you know, we're both anti the regressive left. Not anti the left, anti the regressive left, anti the far left. But this is not nearly as close to what they do in Islamic country. Come on, you could be anti the censorious regressive left and be like, oh, the far left has gone too far when it comes to censorship, or they're too sensitive, they're snowflakes, and I would agree with you on that, okay? But what the Islamic countries, the way that Islamic countries deal with people that insult Islam, please don't even suggest. It's don't even suggest that it's nearly as close to what people on the left do, and to be fair, though, a lot of people, so I think Donald is criticizing the regressive left, saying this is what they would want to do as well. the other side makes the same accusation, right? The other side says like, oh, well, if the Republicans or the right gets to power, they would want to have their own, Christian Sharia law in power, and like they would kill gays and stuff. Like, no, that's you can criticize the far right or the Christian right and the far left or the regressive left without suggesting that they're as bad as theocratic regimes as in Islamic countries. Okay, they're not as bad. They probably will never become as bad, but they're still bad. Okay, I think people want to always be the greatest victims. So when they see some shitty things happening to people in other countries, they want to compete with that. So they always have to say like, well, it's just as bad here. No, it's fucking not, you ungrateful people. Anyways, I went for too long. Did you want to add anything?
No, you're good.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next news.
Okay, I just feel, though, before we go into the next news, I really need to give you guys some background on who it is we're reporting about. Okay. People in America will know who we're talking about when we say the pillow guy or the My Pillow guy. For everyone else in the rest of the world, there is this infomercial, which is where they sell things on TV. And this guy, gets on TV and he's got this pillow and he makes it sound like his pillow. Like if you buy and sleep on his pillow, you're going to have just like, it's going to fuck you in your sleep. It's so amazing, right? Like he just goes off about this pillow and how it's so great. And this is the only pillow you're ever going to need for the rest of your life. And he's been selling this to people. And this guy also happens to be a very popular Christian activist. And for his pillow, he was sued. And the lawsuit against him won for $1 million for false advertising about his amazing wet dream pillow. So that's the background behind this next news article, which is labeled "My Pillow Guy at CPAC. Donald Trump is the best because he was chosen by God."
What's CPAC to people that don't know outside of the United States?
Oh yeah, so it's the Republican convention. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So the guy known to TV audiences as the My Pillow guy, who also happens to be a conservative Christian activist, Mike Lindell, told the crowd that Donald Trump was chosen by God. He met Trump in 2016, and he knew that God had chosen him. He said, "As I stand here before you today, I see the greatest president in history. Of course he is. He was chosen by God."
Okay, this doesn't make sense. I mean, if you are a Christian, isn't every president chosen by God?
Every choice you make is chosen by God, right? Every choice we make, it's God's will.
This guy doesn't know his Christian doctrine because even the shitty, he says, of course he's a great president. He's chosen by God. But even the shitty presidents should be chosen by God, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely, because it was God's will for him to be president. So
right.
You can pray for it to happen if you want it. God rewarded you. If somebody else became president, it's just God's will. So no matter what, every single president is chosen by God if you're a Christian.
Yeah. So, us atheists know your Christian bullshit more than you guys.
But not only that, I mean, we're having to listen to a guy who's been sued over his lies to the public about his product. Talking about he knows what God wanted. Like he thinks that this is some sort of God dipped his hand down from the heavens and lifted Trump. He's a liar. He's a fraud. And he's up here telling people this.
I mean, I forgot which Bible verse was this, but there are biblical verses. A lot of people mention the Bible supports secularism because it's give unto Caesar's what's Caesar's, but that's bullshit because that's only regarding to, I think, taxes and stuff. There are other verses in the Bible that I forgot that basically suggest that whoever is the lawmaker, whoever is ruling, is ordained by God, so just fucking accept their authority, which has been made Christianity very useful for kings for thousands of years to be like, yeah, don't fuck with me, I'm chosen by God, I'm ordained by God, right? So this guy is basically using the same kind of language that kings have been using for many years using the Bible.
Right, and they also, to back that up with even more biblical verse, it also says in the Bible to abide by the laws of your land. It is biblical. It is every Christian's duty to abide by the laws of their land. Yet, we've got Christian activists who hate gay marriage. We have Christian activists that hate abortion. But these are the laws of our land, people. Why don't you accept it? God told you that you need to accept who's king, and God told you need to abide by the laws of the land. So I don't understand why they're all up in arms.
Well, they would say, okay, but also there are other verses that kind of contradicts that. I wish I had those ready.
The Bible contradicts itself?
Okay. But I mean, a Christian might say, like, yeah, I know those are the laws of the land, but if I can change the laws of the, if I do activism and change the laws of the land, but that would be the new laws of the land. So that would be.
There's always a loophole, right? There's always a loophole. I get up in arms a lot about child abuse in churches, and I know that I've been very vocal about that here on the news. But to parents, Christian parents who have found out later in life that their children have been abused, the one excuse that they give about it, when people want to say things like, how can God sit and watch your child be molested and do nothing? And a parent always says something like, along the lines of, he was trying to teach my child to be stronger. There's a reason for this, right? There's a reason this had to happen. And I want to ask that parent the same thing. If you walked in on your child being abused and you saw it, would you still say it was God's will? Would you still say, I will let this proceed because my child needs to be stronger? Oof. Or are you going to step in and stop it?
Right.
It's a hypocritical thing that just burns in me when people say, oh, they get to pick and choose which Bible verse they want to follow. Yeah, I can follow the laws of the land, but I get to shape the laws of the land, even though God says in the Bible that the king gets to do it and you're to abide by the king because the king is chosen by God. So there's all these hypocritical contradictions. It's okay for God to be one way and me to be another way because I'm righteous and I'm for God. But really what they're doing is just, it's hypocrisy.
Right. Also, didn't Jesus break the laws of the land? Okay, so the top comment is saying, when Obama won, wasn't he chosen by their God too? I thought their God was all-powerful, so if that's true, Obama must have been part of the plan as well. Yeah. That's what we said. Chris is saying, damn it, I love my pillow too. Okay. Wolf is saying, if Trump was chosen by God, then that's a sign that there is absolutely no God. Okay. Wolf also saying, I wonder if that pillow was chosen by God also. That's okay, if he uses it. Okay. All right, cool. I think we'll just leave it at that. Should we go to the next news?
Yeah, next news is awesome, guys. YouTube has stopped anti-vax videos, calling them dangerous and harmful.
Wait, it hasn't stopped them. It's demonetized them.
I thought it was stopping them.
No,
is it just demonetizing?
Just demonetized.
Okay.
It would be.
YouTube took all paid advertising away from videos that contain anti-vax messages, saying, "Oh, right," saying that they contain dangerous and harmful content. The change was made after the advertisers started to pull their own ads from the anti-vax videos, which only happened after BuzzFeed News asked them about it. YouTube has introduced a new information panel pertaining to vaccines. So, okay,
you know, this is not censorship. All YouTube is saying is that you can't make money off of these videos. It's not censorship anyways because they could still upload it, right? I'm just surprised. Like, to me, when I saw this news, I was like, wait, so every single video that we upload on Atheist Republic gets demonetized. Like 90%, 95% of our videos gets demonetized, Ali. And these anti-vax videos, until now, they weren't demonetized? Like, what the fuck? So the people that are actually spreading disease, until now, all their videos were getting monetized? Like, I don't understand. You have to say the least controversial thing on YouTube, and you're automatically demonetized. But, I mean, a lot of people are celebrating this. I was actually shocked that so until now, they were making money off of anti-vax videos on YouTube? What the fuck?
I have a hard time understanding how they can have this rule that, YouTube has a rule saying that anything that's dangerous and harmful can't be monetized. Who gets to decide what's dangerous and harmful, though?
I'm fine with I mean, as long as they demonetize almost all our videos, which is why you guys should become our patrons, because all videos are demonetized. So please support us on Patreon or other ways in the description. But I'm okay with that as long as they don't remove our videos. Demonetize ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Like, I mean, I see. I mean, for them, they're in a tough situation. Like, they have to deal with all these advertisers, and the advertisers come and be like, "Hey, I don't want my videos next to people shitting on Islam." And well, YouTube has to make money, right? Like, they're not giving us a platform for free, right? They have to make they do all this. They have to make their money somehow. So if they want to demonetize us, as long as we get to upload videos, I'm fine. Okay, I see the struggle that they have to deal with, but the fact that we were always demonetized, but it took this long for anti-vax videos that is putting children in harm's way, that it took this long for these to be demonetized seems to me that there's such a huge bias. Like, these advertisers don't actually don't actually see where the real harm is coming out. Apparently, like, we saying like fuck Islam is bullshit. They figured that out years ago that's harmful. So those were already demonetized. But they took them this long to figure out like it's harmful. I don't know. Yeah.
My problem with this is what's really truly harmful is anyone who watches a YouTube video and finds that to be law. Okay, so I think this is good news. All right,
this is good news. Yeah,
this will bring less anti-vax out, and I can't stand anti-vax. Okay, but I also find this a slippery slope. Like, when we start, they're going to have a platform and they're going to allow videos for it. Why? I don't know.
I mean, I don't want them. I don't want them to stop pulling out videos. Really, I really do want everybody to be able to put whatever nonsense is out there.
Everyone should be able to.
Yeah, but we should just fight the nonsense with like facts rather than be like, don't put this up there. And
what's the difference between them making money or not making money? Like, I think that's not fair. I'm happy they did it, but I think it's unfair.
No, I mean, the difference is that advertisers, I mean, you don't owe them a platform that's supposed to pay them, right? So why would you pay people that are spreading misinformation? Like, I'm for spreading information, even if it's false information. I think the right response to that is with better information. I just think it's fair if you say like, well, I'm not going to pay you for that. I think that's fair. They don't owe you any payments. And especially if they think like the advertisers are not happy with it. By the way, a lot of people are going to now are blaming social media. Are you looking for your cat?
Yeah, he's making noises.
It's fine. It's no. If he jumps in, it's fine. I think people would appreciate that. But a lot of people are blaming social media for anti-vax movement growing and stuff, and I think that's bullshit, because information is spreading so fast no matter what the platform is, and that includes both good information and bad information. You could start crying about it, or you just try to respond to it with good information. And a lot of people are blaming YouTube or Facebook for the anti-vax movement, and I have to remind them that the only reason why the anti-vax movement is now being seen as more ridiculous than ever before, even though it should have been always seen as extremely ridiculous. But in the past few months, the anti-vax movement has turned into a joke because of the power of memes, right? People have memed the shit out of this, and it's become such a good target to make fun at. And because of the media, because of the social media, because of Facebook, because of YouTube, because of people making fun of it, a lot of kids in anti-vax families are now secretly going out and getting vaccines, right? Because of the memes that were spreading, because of the YouTube videos that people are making fun of them. So it goes both ways. You could spread misinformation. I mean, you can't really blame don't blame the platform, blame the users. All right? And the solution is not to change the platform. I think the solution is get involved, be part of the discussion, go out and say, if you see misinformation, call it as bullshit. Send people actual studies. Tell people why they're wrong about it. That's the. I mean, if you remove people from one platform, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go find another platform. If you remove them from all platforms, now they're going to make their own platform. If they make their own platform, now it's actually worse, because now you don't even have access to them. Now the bubble is becoming even more look like a bubble. At least when they're on YouTube and Facebook, they have to deal with other people calling their bullshit out. But go on, Ellie.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. And I know that YouTube doesn't have any sort of, they don't have to pay anyone they don't want to. And I do get that. It's just, if those videos, I understand they have an obligation to the public. It's just, I still don't know how I feel about that. I still don't feel that it's fair for them to decide what's dangerous and harmful. I think we need to decide what's dangerous and harmful. I really wish that, a lot of the bullshit that was out there wouldn't be out there, but I'm happy that it does actually have a platform, because people will internalize it otherwise. They'll find a way to get the information they want to get. People want to be surrounded by other people who agree with them on their views no matter what, and that's how they reinforce their ideas. So I don't think that YouTube is making any difference. If they deem something harmful or destructive, and they are not going to pay someone for it, but still leave it up on their channel, are they really doing anything?
Yeah, because there's less motivation in creating these videos if there's less money in it.
Okay.
But Brendan on the Facebook post is saying now they can do the same for religious propaganda. No, see, this is the problem. This is, I think me and you, Ali, are one of the most anti-religious people out there, right? And we don't hold back on how much anti-Islam, anti-Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism we are. We don't hold back on that.
No.
But if they want to say religious bullshit should be banned on social media, if it ever comes to that, it will never come to that, but if it ever comes to that, we will be on the side of this is nonsense. You should be able to let people post their religious propaganda on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. I mean, I understand that this is a private company. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a private company. They should be able to do whatever they want. It's not anti-free speech. We didn't say it's anti-free speech. We just think it's bad practice. We think it's a bad idea. We didn't say, we know that they have the right to remove whatever they want, okay? I mean, they removed Atheist Republic 3 times, right? We never, our page was banned, and we managed to bring it back every time on Facebook 3 times. But some of our fans were like, when they were trying to support us, where they were saying this is anti-free speech. When we fought Facebook to get our page back, we never claimed that it was anti-free speech. We just said it's a bad idea. We just told them that, this is wrong, without saying it's anti-free speech, because we understand that it's a platform. We understand that it's a private company. But just because something is not anti-free speech, it doesn't mean that it's a good idea. Like I always say, you have every right to eat 10 cakes every fucking day. But it's a bad fucking idea to do that. Doesn't mean, people are like, oh, they have every right to say these things. Yeah. And they have every right to do these things, and we're just going to let them do it, and we're going to call that bullshit. We're going to let anti-vaxxers spread their bullshit because they have the right to spread it, but we're going to call out their bullshit. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, they have the right. They have the right to remove our accounts if they wanted to, because it's their company, but we think it's bullshit, and we're going to call them out when they do it as well. Yeah, it's not... Every time we call bullshit on something, people always say, oh, they have the right to do it. We didn't say they have. We didn't say they don't have the right to do it. We just think it's nonsense. Should we? Anything I need to read? I think you will actually in the Facebook live chat saying is the same thing. They have every right to do. Yeah, I know we have every right, but we're just gonna call it bullshit. And I think Yuval disagrees with us on anti-vaxxers a little bit, but we could have an entire episode on the science behind this at some point. But next news? Should we go to next news?
Yeah, next news. Singer who licensed music to Chick-fil-A donates proceeds to an LGBTQ rights group. And Chick-fil-A company, whose Christian owners are known to donate to anti-gay groups, used Starship's 1986 classic Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now as a background song for their ad. Singer Grace Slick said that Chick-fil-A pisses her off. She let the company use her music, knowing she was going to give all the money made from that deal directly to a group fighting for LGBTQ rights. So for anyone who doesn't understand, this is more U.S. news. Chick-fil-A is a fast food restaurant. The owners of Chick-fil-A have been notorious for supporting bills that limit transgender rights, and they donate a lot of their stuff to right Christian conservative
to anti-LGBT activism.
Yes.
And their CEO also one time said that he supports stoning gay people because it's according to the Bible, I think.
Right.
Was that Chick-fil-A or was that no? That was, what's the charity organization?
No, the CEO of Chick-fil-A does absolutely agree with gay conversion therapy. That's camps.
But who was the CEO that said it's okay to stone gay people? I think that was the what's that charity with the bell doing?
Salvation Army.
Salvation Army. I don't know if it was the CEO of Salvation Army that said that or the CEO of Chick-fil-A. But anyways,
well, the CEO of Salvation Army is insane.
Yeah.
That actually sounds calm compared to things they've said in the past.
Okay. So the money is gonna go. What do you think? If I ever see a Chick-fil-A, like, if I go there and eat, am I a horrible person for eating there because their money is being used for anti-LGBT? Like, okay, what do you think?
So here's my stance on this, and we actually discussed this a lot in LGBT circles. I personally would never support Chick-fil-A. Right. I'm not going to ever spend any money there. I'm not going to do it. That's my choice. Okay. Because I don't want to give them my money so that they can send that money towards, going against my rights. I think that's stupid. Can my friends, my family, people I love go to Chick-fil-A and eat? Absolutely. Everyone should be allowed to.
Okay, Ali, but that doesn't mean anything. I know everybody should be allowed to. But the question is it the right thing to do? That's a different question.
Sure. If it makes you happy, do it. If their food makes you happy, do it. Of course it's the right thing to do. This is your one life. Okay? This is the one life we get. One person going to Chick-fil-A because they enjoy food and want to have a happy moment, that is neither here nor there during this spectrum of your one life.
I don't know. Okay, let us know what you think in the live chat or in the comments. Do you think that me knowing, I haven't, by the way, knowing what the money, Chick-fil-A uses some of its money towards anti-LGBT activism, is going there and eating there unethical? Like, you know what I mean? Like, should people, and not only unethical, should people be called out for supporting such an organization? Let me see. So, okay, but this is actually funny what this person is doing, because now Chick-fil-A, by using this music, they're supporting LGBT rights because by using the music. Do you think they're going to stop using the music?
Oh, absolutely. I think that we can probably do an update on this in a few weeks where Chick-fil-A has pulled this contract to stop using this song.
Erica is saying absolutely love the irony in this. Not really. Mary is saying not really newsworthy. Well, that's your opinion. It seems like a lot of people enjoyed it. Muscal is saying, I really don't want misinformation to spread. Okay, that's about the previous news, I think. Wolf is saying, I bet they lost a lot of good business. The gays eat out a lot. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, but I want to see if anybody has any comments. I guess we're gonna have to wait.
I don't think that my opinion on this is popular. I think that a lot of people will say, of course you shouldn't eat there. You're a terrible person if you eat there. You're supporting them if you eat there. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't think one meal is going to do more damage than, everyday activism. I don't.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next news.
Next news. This one is one that I'm going to have a long rant about. We're going to talk about sex, guys. Pat Robertson says gay people just want their weird way of doing sex legitimized.
What the hell?
Papa Pat. He's always got something fun to say.
I'm going to miss him when he dies. He's like
I am too.
He's such a good source of comedy. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people take him seriously. By the way, for people that don't know, this guy is huge. This guy has a huge following, and everything he says, I mean, to us, he's a source of comedy and joke, but a lot of people take what this guy says very seriously. So just to keep that in mind.
I think that he's been dead actually for decades, and he's a puppet now. Because the stuff that he's saying, like, there's no way this is real life, but it is. Yeah, politicians who advocated for LGBTQ rights needed to be voted out before all of society was destroyed. He said this on the 700 Club. And the 700 Club is his show, by the way.
Right. It's a very popular show among Christians.
Yeah. After all, the gay agenda involved making sure their weird way of doing sex is legitimized. Robertson was angry over a story about how Catholic foster care agency in Philadelphia was going to close down because it did not want to abide by the city's non-discrimination ordinance. He said the incredible thing about homosexuals is they are willing to destroy lives and destroy the whole fabric of society. Wow. So long as they and their weird way of doing sex is legitimate.
Wait, I didn't know you guys, by the way, for people that don't know, Ali is gay. So, but I didn't know you guys are so, and Christy also in our live chat. You guys are so powerful. Where is the weird sex that you do the source of your powers?
It gives us human strength. I want to ask everyone, and please let us know, what is weird sex exactly? Because from the dawn of time, from what we've seen from 25 to 30,000 years ago, okay, we have evidence of dildos existing. And while not every person agrees what these big 8-inch stones were used for, a lot of people who study human sexuality and study art in general from that time understand them to be dildos, because we've seen similar carvings in Japanese art portraying dildos, and also in old Egyptian art portraying dildos. Okay, so we have been having non-traditional, if you will, and that's crazy to say traditional because we're talking about 30 years ago. Yeah. We have evidence of weird sex. We have evidence that in the 1500s, men in China would use cock rings that were made from eyelids of goats. Eyelids of goats that still had their eyelashes attached. Okay, like this was.
Yeah, but Ali, sorry, I interrupted you. Go on. I disagree with you a little bit, because even if it is weird, even if it is not traditional, even if it is new, even if it is not natural, who gives a fuck?
That's where I'm going with this.
No one's being hurt.
That's actually where we're going. Okay. But we're also going with the idea that the traditional Christian sex, okay, is not, one, traditional, and two, it's not fantastic. When we look at the Bible and we look at the different times that they've talked about sex in the Bible, what we've got Lot, who had an angry crowd of people who were mad that they couldn't rape the angels that were going into his house. He says, "Calm down, crowd. I'm going to give you my 2 daughters if you leave these men alone." Is this good sex? Is this not weird sex?
Right.
Not to mention that after that, his daughters were like, "Hey, we want kids. Let's get our dad really drunk and date rape him so that we can get pregnant with his kids." And they did that. Both daughters did, 2 different occasions. Okay.
They raped their own father. This is biblical. Sex. Yeah.
So who is Papa Pat to sit here and tell us our sex is the weird way of doing sex, when they have Christians out in the world today saying that all women need to submit to men? It's non-consensual. I think that they just get off. I think that their normal way of sex in their eyes is non-consensual, weird, like missionary. It's crazy to me. I think we've got one life. We get this one life. Have sex in every weird ass fucking way you want. with a consensual partner. And, you know, wherever you want, as long as it's not illegal, just, you should be able to do anything you want in this one time. And we've got Papa Pat over here saying that us weird gay people have an agenda to spread our gay sex everywhere. Fucking have gay sex. If you're straight, try gay sex. You should. This is your one time. You're not going to get this again. Fucking have weird sex. It's good. So I guess he's right. I'm a gay person who's advocating for weird sex. I don't even know what weird sex is, but you should be having it. Everyone should.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't try weird things in life, you're missing out on life. But B just saying, I'm guessing the weird sex is what is practiced by Robertson. Lights out, clothes on, no unnecessary touching, do the job and say thank you, ma'am, and go to sleep. Okay. Chrissy is saying, our super lesbian scissors sex brings us power. Also, if there is a God, why did he make the male G-spot up there? But if he didn't want men to be gay, well, Chrissy, you don't know. It's a test from God. He put it where he put it somewhere that you're not supposed to go, just to see if you're going to violate his laws. That's why God put it there. Moose is also saying, well, I cannot understand Chick-fil-A. Oh no, Moose, you're talking about the previous news. Yeah, that's previous news. Moose, yeah, talk about this one. I won't. Okay, again, that's Moose Gal is about previous now. May in the Facebook live chat is saying, well, I'm bi, trans, and versatile. Versatile. Okay, I don't know what that last one means, but thank you for sharing that. Let me see what the top comment is. Girl on girl, man on man is way more normal than priest on child. Oh, that rhymes. Actually, that's, I don't know. Does it? No. Girl on girl, man on man is way more normal than priest on child. I mean, I don't understand why people even are using the word normal. First of all, normal doesn't mean good, because actually, I know this is funny. Priest on child is they saying it's not normal, but unfortunately, it is normal. You know, raping children has been part of human history. Slavery has been part of our history. Sex slavery has been part of our history. I mean, sex slavery has been is becoming less. I mean, I know it's still like a lot of people are like, no, Armin, you're wrong. It's still out there. Yeah, I know it's still out there. Okay, but it's not as common as it used to be. But it's such a major part of our history that if you just take out the last couple hundred years out, then it's a normal. Sex slavery is normal. Normal doesn't mean good. Okay, there's a lot of shitty things that are normal. And I know that being gay is normal because it's part of our nature and it's part of our history. But even if it wasn't normal, it would still be okay. I really do want to remove this idea that normal means good. Normal doesn't mean good. Gary is... Okay, this is too long. I'm not going to read this comment. Let me see if Chris is saying makes perfect sense. Okay, I don't know what that's referring to. Miracles are real because Pat Robertson is still alive. Oh yeah, that's funny. Okay, should we go? Did you want to add anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Our next news is, rather than wrestle girls, a Christian athlete forfeited the state championship.
Forfeited? Okay.
Forfeited.
Okay.
Yes. Brandon Johnston, a male high school wrestler in Colorado, was competing for a state championship, but gave up on that dream when he realized his bracket included 2 girls. He forfeited both matches and knocked himself out of the tournament rather than wrestle them. He explained, end quote, there is something that I really do find problematic about the idea of wrestling with a girl, and a part of that does come from my faith and belief, and a part of that does come from how I was raised to treat women, as well as maybe from different experiences and things, end quote.
Okay, how do you feel about this?
It's stupid. I don't know.
Wait,
seriously? Where does it say in the Bible and in his faith that he can't, safely wrestle a woman?
Wait, how is this even possible? Men and women can wrestle each other?
So yeah, in high school, girls can also be on the football teams now, right? Like, they've been fighting for equal opportunities to join teams together and have like co-ed sports. And I played lacrosse in high school, right? Where during
but I thought they had separate teams.
Nope.
Oh.
They have separate weight classes.
Oh.
Not separate teams.
I guess your weight. Okay.
So I mean, doesn't that make it super fair though? If you have 250-pound, strong people going against each other.
Don't you have more muscle strength per weight as a man than a woman?
Not necessarily.
I know, not necessarily. Of course, not on average, by a huge margin.
I don't know.
I think so. I think that's biology.
But I think that when it comes to wrestling, it's not all about your muscle. I think it's about your strategy.
I know it's not all about your muscle, but it helps. I think it I think this is...
These girls made it to state, wrestling men, Armin.
Okay, so I'm not saying it's not fair because they decide they want this, and if it's a disadvantage to them, well, I mean, if they win, then it's more... I guess it's more impressive, right? So
absolutely.
So I mean, they wanted if it's a disadvantage to them to fight against men, but they still wanted. I guess why not, right?
Right.
And if they win, I think they should be their prize should be bigger because like how did that happen? I mean, it's biology, guys. You can't deny biology, and I mean this is men on average are extremely have more strength than women. You cannot deny that. So I don't know. I mean, if people, I don't think I think if people request it, because usually request turns into demands at some point, and that's what scares me. I think if people demand that this is equality, I don't think this is equality, right? I think it's fair. If people say women should have their own sport separate from men, and people are like that's not equality, well, I mean you cannot ask for equality in everything because you're denying biology if you do that.
Sure, and I think that is a very valid point that you're raising. If men have more muscle mass, but like I said, these women made it to state fighting other men to get there. So, I mean, yes, you're right. It might be inequality in that aspect, but if they want to be there, they have the right to be there. And they don't
have the right. I think I don't think it's a right. I think it could be a request. And if the answer to the request is yes, then good, you got the request. But I don't think if we say it's a right, then it goes from being a request to being a demand that you have no choice but to say yes to, right?
But a lot of school districts were given that and they said no, and then it became a right because they fought for it. See what I'm saying?
This is what I'm scared about, right? So I think a request is fine, and if you get a yes to that request, that's also good for you. You got an answer. But if you turn it into a right, now all of a sudden it turns into... I mean, this is... I don't know. I'm against this being a right.
Well, I also want to talk about the inequality of what he says here. He says, a part of that does come from how I was raised to treat women. This is a part of the reason why he won't wrestle them, was because he was raised to not treat women this way. Right. And, I maybe as a parent, that's different. I don't think I've ever taught my children to treat women differently from men. Like, I don't think I've ever done that. So
people that say I will never hit a woman.
Like, what the fuck's up with that?
So wait, so you will hit men randomly in the street? Like, what is that?
I teach my kids don't hit people.
Yeah,
right?
No. If you say like I would never raise my hand on a woman, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna step away from you because I'm scared that you're gonna raise your hand on men because
you're gonna hit me. What's up with that? Right. No, I find that outrageous too. Never make that claim. Right. You never know what's going to happen to you in the future. If a woman's like legit attacking you, coming up to you with a knife, what are you going to do? Let her stab you because you refuse to hit a woman? I don't know. It's just there's let's not say those things. And let's not say I was raised to treat women a certain way, so I won't compete in sports with them. I think that, everyone has protective gear in wrestling. It's not like he's and it's not like they've got spears and they're thrown into a gladiator pit here. This is a safe way. This is of doing a sport. They're doing the sport.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with how you treat women.
Yeah, I mean, that's bullshit. If you think it's okay to wrestle with somebody but not with other people because of their sex, I mean, that's your own bullshit. But I think you could call that the bullshit without making it the demand that this is a right, that you have a right to wrestle the same different sex. But anyway, Wolf is saying he's a beta male. He should have power. Slam them. Seen. I don't know what you're saying. Sorry, Wolf. Ali, see if you could read what Wolf is saying. Moosgal is saying, Armin, you get stream comments late. There is a delay. Actually, there's not a delay in the comments. There's a delay in what you get from us. So, unfortunately, some of the comments that we get, so the video is coming to you a little bit later. And that means some of the comments that we read might have been too late because we moved on to the next news. Sorry when that happens. There's nothing we could do to fix that. Jake is saying, I wrestled 14 years from a little kid all the way through college, had a few girls on my teams, and had to wrestle a few. They do the same exact brutal training and make the same sacrifices as everyone else. In that wrestling room, they choose to be there like everyone else, dedicating themselves to something they love. You treat them no different than anyone else on your team, and you treat them as hostiles when they are on the line across from you as an opponent. Yeah, when they are, again, if I say that all of what you're saying is true, Jake, while it's also true to say on average men have an advantage when it comes to strength. I mean, that's also reality, okay? If you say men have an advantage when it comes to muscle strength, that's not denying the hard work that women athletes put into getting to where they are. Both of those things that could be true at the same time. And and if one of your opponents is a woman that you're fighting against, well, of course you're gonna treat them the same way that you treat anyone else. Nobody's denying that. The only issue I have is that if you think that I don't know how I'm not a very sports kind of guy, so I don't know how these things work, but if you think any of these organizations should not, if they have men fighting each other and women fighting each other, if you go there and think that they shouldn't have a choice to do that, and you can demand that men and women should have to fight each other, and they should not be able to say no to that, that's where I draw the line, right? I think if you request that and they say okay, then great, you got what you wanted. But if you think you can demand it and they shouldn't have an option to say no to you for that, I mean, I'm sure a lot of women wouldn't want that. A lot of women might be like, yeah, I was winning all the time until you mixed us all up. Now I'm always losing. So maybe a lot of women would be against it as well. I think you shouldn't make that a right. I think that should be just a request.
But Armin, here's the thing. Is you and I both agreed that on average, a man has more muscle strength than women, right?
Right.
So there are going to be some women who have as much muscle strength as men. And the wrestling teams that we see with women who wrestle in them have very few women. And that's because they do have to go through tryouts, okay? They do have to prove that they can go up against men. Not every woman is going to be able to go up against men. So the women who do are in that small percentage that we're talking about, right? That have average strength. So, the average strength of a man. So not every woman is saying, I want to wrestle. Not every woman is going to be able to wrestle if she says she wants to wrestle. She does still have to meet the requirements, to do so. So that's why.
But what about weight classes? So why are we separating people by weight classes? What if some people say, you're discriminating against my weight. I want to be able to fight people heavier than me. I will go through the same requirements. If I could I would be with my lighter weight. I mean, your weight is also part of the biology, right? So if we want to say, let's mix up all the sexes, then people are like, okay, well, why are we not mixing up all the weights? If I could prove to you through vigorous trials and stuff that I could take down people heavier than me, let's mix up all the weights as well.
Then you should be able to.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you can. I'm saying I see why some people might want to mix it up, but I don't think you should be forced to. Some people are like, no, we want to separate the weights because that makes the most sense to us. I think you should also be able to do that if you want to. But I'm just saying that if you turn it into a right, then all of a sudden it's not some people do it, some people don't, because nobody has the option to say no to you anymore. Like, I'm just thinking that mixing shouldn't be forced on people. It should be argued, and so if people are convinced, they can mix different weights, different sexes, different everything. But I don't think it should be turned to a right because I don't think you should be able to force this on people. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I have no idea. Let us know what you think. I'm willing to completely let go of everything I believe in on this. Should we go? Let me actually see. Yeah, okay. Should we go to the next news?
Yeah, and there's a lot of gay news this week, and I didn't make this list.
No, so Ali, ever since you're back, and you're bringing your gayness with you to all our news. This is all on you.
I secretly am. A gay teacher is fired from Baptist Church's pre-K center because you know why.
What?
And let me find this. Yeah. Sky Moore, a teacher at the Chapin Baptist Child Development Center, was fired from her pre-kindergarten school for no reason other than existing as a gay woman. Moore was named Teacher of the Month several times while working at school. Chapin Baptist Church pastor Michael Hull decided her engagement to another woman made her dispensable.
Wait, isn't it? Which state is? Where is this exactly?
This is.
I mean, this should be illegal, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's not illegal if you work for a religious institution. They're allowed to have morality clauses, and that's what makes this non-illegal.
Wait, I mean, doesn't it depend on the state? This is in the U.S., right?
Yes, this is in the U.S.
Yeah, but isn't it in some states illegal to discriminate based on sexual orientation, and in some states it's okay?
I don't think so.
I think so. I think I'm right on this. I'm not sure. Let us know. I think in some states in the United States, it's against the law to discriminate based on sexual orientation.
Well, this is in South Carolina, and it's not illegal. Yeah. I live in Texas, where it's also not illegal. Anyone can be like, "Oh, you're gay. I don't want to hire you." Yeah. There's a huge problem in the United States with inequality for that. And even though a lot of people have won lawsuits, we're starting to set precedent. I think that it's hard, as long as you're still working for a religious organization with morality clauses, even if it's illegal in your state to discriminate, this is different.
Okay.
Religious institutions have the right to set morality clauses.
You know, I know a lot of people that might say that, you know what, I think this is fine. The government shouldn't come and tell people who to hire and stuff like that. I mean, even if you're on that side, you should demand consistency. Because right now, if you say, well, you're a Christian, I don't like Christians, I'm not going to hire you, that's illegal, right? That's illegal everywhere in the U.S., isn't it? Yes. Yep. So why is that illegal and this is not illegal? Either make it both legal or both of them illegal. Well,
I have a different point to what you're making there. Why do these morality clauses only concentrate on gay people, and they don't concentrate on people who have had adultery, and they don't concentrate on people who have ever lied, and they don't concentrate on people who have ever broken any one of the many rules in Christianity that you're not supposed to do? A sin is a sin is a sin, right? This is what they preach all the time. Sinners should be forgiven. This is what they preach all the time. And here we are, just being gay, and they're all like, no, fuck you, you can't work here.
Right. By the way, to anybody before saying, I'm pretty sure this is going to come. No, I'm not saying being Christian is the same as being gay. In fact, I'm pointing out how unfair it is, because you could choose to be a Christian, but you can't choose to be gay. But apparently you're punished for something you didn't choose, but you can't be punished for something that you actually had a say in. But I'm just saying that it's extremely unfair that the law protects a certain group of people, but not the other ones. I mean, I think a lot of people also want they think like anti-discrimination laws is even though they say I'm not homophobic, I'm not racist or anything, A lot of people argue that, but I don't want the government to have the authority to have anti-discrimination laws. But then I always ask them, so do you think that it was wrong for the government to have laws that, you know, that black people shouldn't be sitting at the back of the bus, or that separate fountains for different people, do you think is illegal? Do you think those laws should not be there? And I haven't heard anybody that argues for less government intervention. I argue for less government intervention, but less government intervention doesn't mean no government intervention. I think so, when people are not mature enough, the government needs to step in some cases, and I do want consistency. So I don't know what the argument would be for this, because most of the people that say the government shouldn't tell companies that they can't fire somebody for being gay, when I ask them what if they start firing people for being black, do you think the laws shouldn't come in for that? And usually they say no. I guess it's okay to have a law that says you can't fire people for being black. Well, like, okay, then why is it okay to have laws that protects black people from being fired for their color of their skin, but not have laws that protects people for their sexual orientation? Like, why? What's the difference? Anyways, I haven't heard a good response to that yet, so I'm gonna keep. Right now, I think the government should step in. It should be illegal everywhere for you to fire somebody for their sexual orientation. It should be. It doesn't matter if you're a religious organization or not. This should be illegal. Do you agree with that?
Yes and no. Like, I love that you're saying that, because that would prevent me from one day being fired. But at the same,
it wouldn't prevent you from being fired. It would prevent you from being fired for being gay. You can still be fired.
Yeah, you can still get fired for anything else, right?
Right.
But you know, so that's a win for me by you saying that. But at the same time, like, it is hard to know where to draw the line when it comes to government intervention with this. You know, when we talk about companies having a morality clause, a lot of companies also include things like social media clauses as well. So if you go on social media and post pictures of yourself getting plastered at a party, or you know, doing something illegal, or talking shit about your company that you work for, they're allowed to fire you for that. And a lot of people say the companies aren't allowed to fire you for that. And you know, this has been a thing that's been happening in our law system.
That's too much. They should be able to fire for that.
Right. So we go back and forth. So, you know, where do we draw the line on where it's supposed to be? I would love it if companies weren't allowed to fire someone for their color of their skin, for their sexual orientation, for the religion that they do or do not hold. As an atheist, guys, and on my resume, because for so many years I've worked for Atheist Republic, having that on my resume does not make me popular in my state. And I I will not be able to get a job in my state.
Sorry.
So and it's absolutely due to discrimination on that. Right. And it's hard to know where to draw the line when you're talking about when the government should and shouldn't intervene. And what I think that we should do is Armin said this a long time ago, is appeal to our community, because it's our community that will help regulate things. People will want to do business with you if you show that you're a good, moral, ethical person by community standards. If you're not, then they won't do business with you. And we've seen that work. We've seen that work with a gym that closed down. The people in the community said, no, we don't want to do business with you because you treat the LGBT community poorly. And sure enough, that business did have to close down. So it's a slippery slope, I think, when we say these people are protected, these people aren't protected, you know, when government intervenes.
John, the Facebook post is saying, okay, so this lesbian woman, she was working in a church. So a lot of people will agree with John. He was saying that don't work for a church, then complain when they act exactly the way churches always act.
False. I do not agree with that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I volunteer with the church, guys. Like, I do volunteer work with the church where I'm at. And that's because where I'm at, the only people who do the kind of community service that I want to help in my community do are churches. So I actually have to go to a church to do this community service when I want to do it, and I do it every Saturday. So everyone can say, one day when they discriminate against me and there's a woman there who really wants me gone because I'm an atheist, and I yell when they make people pray for services, yeah, she doesn't like me. So one day I might be kicked out of my volunteer service for doing it at the church. And what? I'm going to complain about that when that happens. And this woman might not have been able to get a job anywhere else. We don't know her background. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is to get any kind of job sometimes.
No, they don't. I don't think they do.
Yeah.
If you can work someplace, you can work with people and have different beliefs.
Right.
And that's what this woman said, that, she's brave. She's brave.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe she thinks that she is a Christian and she believes in Christianity and she doesn't see a contradiction and she just wants to serve God or whatever. She should be able to do.
Person.
Yeah, but I also think that I think we should, atheists and gay people, and they should invade churches. They should go work for churches and mosques. They infiltrate from within. Go inside and go inside and change people's minds.
Force them to see that you're a person. Force them to see that you're a person with morals. Force them to see that you're a person who wants to take care of their community with love and compassion. And then you are in people's faces teaching them that you're not a Satanist, teaching them that you don't worship the devil.
Or you are a Satanist. Actually, be Satanist and go work for a church as well.
Definitely. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, they assume every atheist is a Satanist, and Satanists are great. But... Do it. Yeah. Go volunteer for your church.
Yeah, go and like if people realize that the pianist at the church is an atheist and they love the pianist at the church, they were like, oh, I guess atheists are okay. I mean, that's great. And if they realize that this person that they were is gay for the past 10 years and they love the person, they were like, okay, maybe I don't mind people.
Maybe not all gay people are bad.
Right? Yeah, I think that's a good. Yeah, do go work for a church. Do go work for a mosque. But Yuval on Facebook is saying the thing is that this teacher acts contradictory to their agenda of the workplace, so I can see their point, even though I don't agree with their agenda. But okay, but what about Yuval? What if you had an organization that said our agenda doesn't is contradictory to supporting black people, so that's our agenda, so sorry, we can't hire black people because that's contradictory to our agenda. Do you think
people should be protected, not agendas?
Right. Again, I'm not saying I just want some consistency in this. Okay, let me see what the YouTube live chat is saying. Wolf is saying, if your professional religion should turn a blind eye, they do it with priests, right? What? I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. Do you understand that? Jack is saying hi Jack. Ali, you read Wolf's comments because sometimes I don't understand what Wolf is saying. Jack is saying, being from a country where nearly every school is religious, the don't work from them idea isn't always possible. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Not just a country. Sometimes you're in a state or you're in a neighborhood that everything around you is religious. I have to try harder to understand Wolf's comments. If your professional religion should turn a blind eye, they do it with priests. I don't know what you're. Sorry, Wolf, if I'm not understanding. I just read it for other people that understand it.
Okay, I'm gonna. If your professional religion should turn a blind eye, they do it with priests, right? Oh, so what I think Wolf is saying is, religions turn a blind eye to their own problems, like priests, while they go hunting out other problems like homosexuality.
Okay, Yuval is bringing up another point. He's saying if a vegan school would sack a meat-eating teacher, no one would say anything. Yeah, but meat eaters are not a protected class or a minority. Like, we're not. The thing is that there's no discrimination against meat eaters, so I don't think we need to protect them.
Socially there is, but not legally.
Yeah. I mean, we understand. Okay, so the reason why your example works, Yuval, but my example wouldn't, you use the same example and replace meat eater with black, okay? And you see what the difference is, right? Would you support a school that fires every single black teacher? I mean, you wouldn't. I'm not saying of course you wouldn't support it. I'm just saying, do you think that should be legal? should the law allow that? You know, if they want to sack every meat eating teacher because there's no discrimination out there against meat eaters, I don't think the law should be able. There should be a law to protect meat eaters for losing their job. But I think black or gay is different. Anyways, so bingo, she got it. Okay, yes. Well, thanks. Sorry, Ali is smarter than me. That's why she got it. Christy saying priests do shit. Why would they care about gay? Is what Wolf is saying. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Both Christy. See, Chrissy and Ellie are lesbians, and they're using their magical powers to understand things that I don't understand.
We're superhuman.
Yeah.
And oh, Soraya! I haven't seen Soraya in so long, and I see you there. Hi, Soraya.
Okay, so next news.
All right. Next news before we get to more gay news. Pro-plague Arizona governor. A Republican lawmaker says requiring a measles vaccine is communist.
What? What? Okay.
Arizona State Rep Kelly Townsend says that making people get vaccinated is what communists do. A Republican governor, Doug Ducey, said that he would veto any bills that might lower vaccination rates in his state. Townsend thinks his anti-plague is un-American. She explained on Facebook in her post, and quote, "And finally, I'm going to demand as a mother of an injured child from her vaccines that we insist that we spend the time and money on discovering what in these vaccines is causing so much injury, instead of insisting on taking your liberty in the name of the collective."
Wait, that makes no sense. She would veto any bills that might lower vaccination rates? Doesn't she want to lower vaccination rates, given that she's an anti-vaxxer? There's too many double negatives happening here.
Too many double negatives.
Yeah. I think it means that she would veto any bills that would increase vaccination rates. Okay, so she's anti-vaxxers and vaccines are a communist thing. Is that what she's saying?
That's what she's saying.
And did she provide any arguments for it?
Well, she's saying that her child was injured by vaccines. And I call bullshit on that. I call absolute bullshit. Okay, no, I don't. It depends on what kind of injured she's talking about. Because I've seen a lot of parents who have autistic children who say vaccines caused it. Vaccines injured their child. But the thing is there's no proof to back that up, right? But there is proof that on a rare occasion, a vaccine can cause death. Okay, a vaccine can cause spiked temperatures and a few issues. There is a handful in many, okay? But there's also a chance that when you take high blood pressure medication or anything else, that you're going to die from it. There's always a chance.
I'm gonna say another unpopular opinion. A lot of my opinions makes me look like I want more government intervention. I promise I'm anti-government intervention, but not all government intervention. I think this person should lose her job, right? I think if you say stuff that is proven as anti-scientific that could harm the people that you're supposed to be representing, that should be like, yeah, we don't care that you got the votes. We're gonna kick you out. Like, I think, if you can't protect your people, if you're actually saying harmful things, I think you lose your job. Isn't that like how it works with other jobs? Like, why do these people get to keep their job? A lawmaker that is anti-vaccine, I can't think of anything like this. Is extremely dangerous. And she's so stupid. It's like is what communists do. What the fuck are you talking about? So, oh my god, I don't know. I mean, just so stupid that I don't even want to explain why it's stupid. Like,
It's almost exhausting at this point. Yeah. It's almost exhausting.
Sometimes some things are stupid, but at least they're at the level of stupid where you could start like telling people, okay, well, this is why you're being an idiot. But then there are things that are so dumb that you just look at it and you're like speechless and you don't know where to start with even addressing what the fuck is wrong with it, right? And you think if you even point to how stupid why it's wrong, you think like you're disrespecting the intelligence of your audience by explaining it. You know what I mean? Like, people, you're going to explain why this is wrong, and your audience are going to be like, oh, wow, thank you so much, Armin, for explaining that. We didn't know. You're wasting our time. Anyways, we just point and laugh, I guess. But it's not just point and laugh, because this person it's a lawmaker. Like, how did she get this job? Why? Like, this is a problem with your society. This is in the fucking U.S., one of the most advanced countries in the world, and somebody as this stupid gets to be a lawmaker.
Maybe she gets all of her information from YouTube.
No, I mean, we have YouTube videos that tells you why this is. Don't blame YouTube. YouTube has good videos that explains why these people are being idiots. We're on YouTube right now, Ellie.
I know. We talked about people taking it as law earlier. These anti-vax. Sorry.
Right, but I'm just
a bad joke.
But we have to go beyond pointing and laughing at this, and we have to figure out how the fuck somebody this stupid gets to have this position.
And we have to, because it's not just her. Like, if you guys have been following us for a while, we've been reporting so much about our lawmakers making these statements about anti-vax, and all they're doing is they're just constantly reinforcing these bullshit ideas. And it's not just our lawmakers, it's a lot of the actors and actresses in our country who have these big platforms, who speak to millions of people. Robert De Niro, Jenny McCarthy, she's gorgeous, but she's dumb. They get to speak to all of us, and our lawmakers, the people who just watch TV, who just listen to what people say rather than talk to actual experts and try to gather scientific data. These are the people who are running things. We want to know why we're in this state, why we're in this place where it's 2019 and we're having measles outbreaks. How the fuck is this happening? Scientifically, I can't explain it. But the only thing I can say is people, and I'm preaching to the choir, I know everyone who watches this show is already this way, we have to find a way to make researching things we hear cool.
The top comment is saying, I'm so happy we're actually doing the hashtag pro-plague thing. Yeah, the second comment is also saying this is like a lot of people are suggesting that instead of calling them anti-vaxxers, we should start calling them pro-plague. And this is another people that blame social media and YouTube for all this stuff. This is another beautiful thing that is coming out of this. This is pro-plague. Use that as a way to refer to anti-vaxxers. Jack in the YouTube live chat is saying, firing for anti-science came up before, but I'm against it. Being gay or trans was once considered a mental illness. Allies in the government would have been fired for being pro-gay or trans. Sounds good in this case, but unfortunately, it's not black and white. Well, Jack, but I'm actually saying using actual science, not pseudoscience, not fake science, right? I don't think that people's votes should come before what is what you could demonstrate as reality. You're saying that being gay was considered mental, or trans was considered mental illness, and that was considered science. So if you use science to say who gets to keep the job, it won't work. But you're giving examples of things that are not actually science. I'm saying actual peer-reviewed academic research. If we have proven beyond reasonable doubt that something is a fact and something is harmful to society, and a politician comes and says, well, I'm going to do exactly the same this thing that we have proven to harm society, then I'm like, okay, yeah, you lose your job. I think that should, again,
there's a difference between a psychological theory and actual scientific data fact. And once gays and trans were considered, it was considered a mental illness, and that was a psychological theory. Okay, and everyone knows scientific theory holds a lot of ground. Okay, I'm not trying to dismiss scientific theory, but we have to know the difference between fact and theory.
Yeah, I mean, peer-reviewed, meta-studies, that kind of stuff, right? If something is as dumb as saying that measles, requiring measles vaccines is communist, I think we know beyond, reasonable doubt that this is dumb and you need to go. Not everything can be democratic. Again, the United States is a republic, not a pure democracy. That means that if you should be, there are some standards that no matter how many supporters you have, if you're against those standards, we should be able to get rid of you, I think. Moose is saying perhaps U.S. should make critical thinking a class. Yeah, I'm for that, by the way. I'm very much for that. Mandatory class critical thinking skills. Just like math is mandatory, critical thinking skills I think should be also a part of every school. Last news.
I think so. He's saying that it was real science because it was in the DSM books. That still didn't make it real science.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
That constantly changes. Most of what we know about psychology is theory.
Right.
Most of what we know.
Yeah,
So,
that doesn't make it actual science.
that's why they call psychology a soft science. And look, I'm a psychology major. I know I'm there. It sucks that it's called soft science, but it is called a soft science, and it's called a soft science for a reason. Last bit of news is more gay news. Christian hate
This
group.
is your bias, Ali. I know it.
It's my agenda. Christian hate group trashes Walmart for using gay men and blind date ad campaign. Walmart is actually around the world now, so I don't have to say that this is solely in the U.S. Walmart is the very, very popular mega mart around the world. And I'm going to go ahead and start the news. Love is in the Aisle, a dating show at Walmart, is a marketing campaign launched by Walmart. The second episode featured two gay men getting to know each other on a shopping trip. Christian hate group claims this ad is homosexual propaganda that needs to be eradicated from the internet. The American Family Association has sent action alert urging its nearly 1 million friends and supporters to sign a petition complaining that Walmart has chosen to begin promoting the normalization of homosexuality in conflict with the beliefs of its customer base.
But so fucking what? Okay, you're upset. Boo-hoo. Go cry about it. Why is this news?
So, in America, a lot of people who shop at Walmart tend to be very
Christian?
I don't know how to say that without insulting anyone. It's got a reputation
Right.
of having customers that are more redneck in nature or highly Christian and Southern in beliefs, if you will. So that's its reputation. I'm not personally saying that. It's just its reputation. So it's the base, the customer base. Are these Christian people. And so the majority of people who shop at Walmart is what they call the customer base. And this article is saying that the base is very upset at Walmart for having an episode in their advertisement about two gay men getting to know each other.
So, I mean, they're signing an online petition. I think this is a great petition for Walmart because the petition is complaining that Walmart has chosen to begin promoting the normalization of homosexuality. And, well, that's great. So
you
start
think
your
that it'd
petition.
Right.
Right.
That part is great. Bravo, Walmart. That's awesome. People starting a petition to make them stop. Here's what we've seen in the past, right? We saw the episode with Target. Target put out a statement saying that transgender women were welcome in the women's bathroom in all Targets, right? And it was alarming the amount of people who took to the internet to start trashing Target for allowing perverts in the bathroom. It pissed me off. I know. Sorry if that brought up terrible memories for anyone listening. But they did. A ton of women, a ton of men. They would march into Walmart saying that everyone who shopped there was of the devil, and they would record this and put it on social media. It was insane. It was insane. But what actually happened was Target took a huge hit financially.
Did it?
You would think that a lot of people would have been like, this is a lot of free publicity. People are going to start shopping at Target because Target did a great thing for the community, right? They're going to get more money from this, more. No, it was actually the complete opposite. And Target actually had to start shutting down stores. And then they put out a huge thing that they were going to start building individual bathrooms. So, so no one was allowed into the bathroom.
When
but
was
one
this?
person at a time. What's that?
When was this?
This was what, 2 years ago? I wonder if anyone else in our chat remembers what I'm talking about. But so Walmart separating from its base is actually a pretty dangerous move, because they just got to watch what happened to Target.
But here's the thing. Don't you think, okay, Walmart doesn't, like, the people that make these decisions, they mostly care about their, you know, their profit, right? So don't they have access to enough data for them to think that this is going to be a net profit for them, rather than, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have access to more research and data than me and you have. And they probably looked at many things before they put an ad like this. So I think they're betting on the fact that they were going to get more customers coming in because of this ad than compared to people not going to Walmart because of this ad. So
well, that's what I think Walmart was trying to do. Walmart was trying, they've got a base of customers already. Okay, they've got a base of customers that are going to be born and die in Walmart, Walmart forever customers. Okay, they have that. And I think what Walmart was trying to do was kind of branch out a little bit. Here's an olive branch to maybe people who don't like that we're absolute disgusting freaks that enslave people and make them go on food stamps so that we can save on taxes. That's Walmart. They're a bad company.
Are they? I mean, they give people jobs. Come on.
They give people jobs and they don't pay them enough to survive, Harmon. They give people jobs, and those people have to survive off food stamps, and then they don't pay the taxes for those.
Yeah, but if they pay people more, then they will have to give less jobs. Anyway, that's a different discussion. We're getting
we'll have a different combo on that. But so they're trying to reach out to a group of people that don't like Walmart anymore, right? That's what they're trying to do. And I think that this is a dangerous move. Yes, they have absolute more information than you and I have. But just looking at what happened with Target, I think it's a risky move. Don't disrupt your base when your base is very set in their ways.
Right. But okay, so I don't understand why would they? Okay, but yeah, Christians getting upset over stuff like that. Do you think people should now go shop at Walmart to support Walmart for this ad? Like, is that what we're saying? No, right? I don't know. I mean, Walmarts are just. I mean, so these stores. I don't really understand. People make decisions based on this? Like, people are like, skip going to Walmart even though if something is cheaper or close by because of their political, like, are people actually that sensitive that they're willing to make their own lives difficult because of their religious or political views? I mean, yes. Really? Okay. Wow. Okay.
In America, yes. We live in a place where, you know, if I don't want to drive 0.3 miles to that grocery store because they're anti-gay, I'm going to drive 0.5 miles to the next grocery store and shop there. We have so much convenience around us that we actually get the right to pick and choose. There is a big base of people who can't, unfortunately. They're going to always have to shop at the least expensive place, regardless of their views. And that's why I say it's okay. That's why I say it's okay for people, like bringing back to what we were talking about with Chick-fil-A. You know, you get your one life, you're going to have to do what you have to do. People who can't afford to shop anywhere else, well, of course you should shop there. Don't inconvenience yourself that much. But there's a large part of America that can afford inconvenience, and they will choose it.
Right. And you know, I think the, companies like this do rely on some of the backlash. Like whether it works or not, it's a different thing. But when Gillette puts out an ad that we saw there was a backlash, or when Walmart does this, when they try to support gay rights, they're banking on the backlash, whether it's the backlash from the liberals or from the Christian right. You know, they don't, maybe sometimes they make a wrong estimation for what the net result is, but they put they're hoping there is a backlash because the main point of these ads is to get some media attention from the backlash, right? I think that's part of their calculation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And another thing is that a lot of people think that, why is my cereal telling me what to support, or what is my this product? Like, why is my bank telling me, like, why can't they just give me food or give me cereal or give me chocolate or give me whatever and just do what they're supposed to do and stay out of politics? Why can't they do that? And I don't really understand that complaint, because I mean, if they're they can do that, and if it ends up working for them, and maybe if they, I mean, sometimes they make the wrong calculation, but if they do get involved in having political opinions, private companies that are not even in religion or politics, but if they do get involved and ends up selling more products for them, that's a win. Like,
Absolutely.
You can't really, I mean, I don't complain when big companies start supporting things that I like. So I mean, I want Google and Facebook. Sometimes they get involved in things like when it comes to fighting Article 13 or whatever it is in Europe. I want them to because there's governments are not saying anything against that. So I want these giant companies to say something against that. But also when Facebook starts fighting against privacy laws, I'm upset that Facebook against that. But I don't think that we could complain about the fact that they're involved, because I mean, it's their company, I guess. I mean,
Right.
but I'm saying I'm actually being a hypocrite right now, because I know you also have the right to complain, even if they have the right to. Maybe you're just pointing out that it's a wrong move. I just don't see what you expect from a corporation that is trying to do anything that it's in its power to sell more product, if getting involved in religion or politics is going to help them sell more products. Of course they're going to do it. I don't understand what kind of expectation do we have from for-profit companies not to do what they are designed to do, which is sell more products. It's an unrealistic expectation. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Ding, 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 Armin. Oh, thank you, Chrissy. Actually, I said a few things that are contradictory, because I was just thinking out loud, so I don't know which one of those things you're thinking. But anyways, that was our last news. Thank you for being here with us. Ali, did you want to add anything?
Wasn't prepared to.
No? Okay, I'm gonna add just if you're on Facebook, please come over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, please subscribe to our YouTube. We're growing our YouTube. It's growing faster than before, so thank you to everybody that has subscribed, and thank you again to our patrons for supporting us. We're doing this full time, and as I say, YouTube demonetized all our videos, so thank you to anybody that is becoming a patron. Christy, Jack, thank you.
Christy and Beej.
Beej, yeah, Christy, Beej, Joe, Jack, Muscal, Mars. Oh yeah, Mars is one of our patrons. Thank you. Muscal is also a patron, so thank you guys for support. And if I think I missed Joe, Jose, Yuval, Anna. Hey, Anna is here. Anyone else in Facebook live chat? Also, thank you all. Love you guys. Oh, we're not gonna. The reason why we did this today instead of Saturday is because I'm going to Israel. I'm going to be in Israel next Saturday and the Saturday after. I'm not sure if we're going to have a news next week because I'm traveling. But be patient with us. I'll be back while we're right after the traveling is over. But love you guys. Bye.